What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 3s to look at. The Air Jordan 3 Retro. This is the Craft Ivory colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. Now, these videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker does come in this, it's like a glossed out kind of creamish ivory color box. Along this side, you actually have like, this light gray elephant print, kind of like, gradient effect here. Now on the box lid, they did actually give us this gray Nike branding, and if you can look closely, it actually does have like this glossed out Air Jordan Jumpman logo there, so I'm gonna try to get that there in images. And then pretty much throughout the box, it's just more of that creamish color, and then the elephant print, kind of like a stripe along this side here. The bottom portion of the box, you are met with more of that ivory color and more of the elephant print, and you do actually have like this gray Nike branding and copyright information, Jordan branding there as well. So for those that do care about that, there you go. Now the box label on the sneaker does read Air Jordan 3 Retro. The color way says ivory, gray mist, and then cream. So the sneaker itself is actually set to release in February of 2024. So this is an early, an early look, and it does have this kind of swing box lid appeal here. And when you actually open the box, you are met with some of this white wax paper, and it does have the elephant print effect there on the top. From there, you are met with the actual sneaker itself. Now, for the most part, when I actually started to see images of this sneaker, I was definitely an immediate fan. I mean, one thing that I dislike, right out the bat is that, it's just an all white sneaker. So of course, after you wear this sneaker a few times, I imagine it's probably going to be, a beater. But from what I'm looking at here, I mean, excellent materials, execution. It looks like, they use some high quality leather and then suede materials throughout the sneaker itself. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna talk you guys to death, but there you go. Air Jordan 3 Retro Craft Ivory. So we're gonna take a look at the right sneaker like we always do. And when you look at the sneaker, it does look like what you would expect from most Air Jordan 3 sneakers. The entire upper portion of the sneaker is composed of this creamish ivory colored leather, and the top upper portion here, it is a heavy kind of, it's real soft, heavy tumbled white leather here. And along the toe box, you do have more of this smooth white leather here, because it's kind of like a third mud guard situation on this sneaker. Now going towards the back portion of the sneaker, one thing that I found interesting about this one, they actually did go with a double, because if you look up underneath, you do have this light gray suede material, and then on the exterior you actually have this light gray elephant print. Elephant print, of course, is standard with most Air Jordan 3s. Up going towards the sock liner of the sneaker, you are met with more of that cream ivory leather here, and it is perforated along the sock liner. Going towards the midsole of the sneaker, you do have this creamish midsole, and it does have that hit of ivory here. Going along towards the back portion of the sneaker, you do have this air bubble situation, which is standard with most Air Jordan 3s. And then going towards the bottom portion, you do have this yellowish off-white sole going toward the bottom portion of the sneaker. Going towards the front toe box area, you will see it's kind of like a double mud guard situation, because you do have this hit of elephant print, and then some of that gray suede, and then of course that white leather going across the mid portion there. Going up a little bit, going towards where the eye stays and the laces are, you do have this hit of suede here, and they do have these light gray eye stays going around here for the lace loops. Going towards like the upper portion, like here of the sneaker, you do have this creamish off-white eye stay there as well. Switching things over, going toward the front toe box area of the sneaker, you are met with that more of that heavy tumble white cream color for the leather here. You got that smooth white mud guard here, more of that gray suede, and then again, like, the hit of the elephant print there. Now the sneaker does have like, these laces. There isn't like a secondary lace option or anything, but the sneaker did come, it did come pre-laced, and they did give us these it's kind of like an off-white. It's not like a bright white laces. They're like an off-white color. And then up underneath, you do have that leather tongue. And if you look closely, it is perforated there. Going towards the mid portion, you are met with more of like, that solid leather here going toward the upper portion of the tongue. Now, one thing that's pretty interesting about this sneaker, if you take a look at the tongue here, you do have, it's like one is like, this. It's like a peach kind of, I guess that's supposed to be ivory. I don't know, but it's like more like peach to me from, to the eye. Up underneath, and then overlapping it, you do have like this gray stitch Jumpman logo. So you do have 2 hits of the Jumpman logo there for the branding on the tongue. Behind the tongue is like, just this light gray here going towards the, just matching the whole sock liner here. Behind the tongue, you actually have like, your size tag and everything like that, but that's pretty much it. Switching gears, going towards the medial side of the sneaker, just like most Air Jordan 3s, it is consistent with the other side. So you do have this heavy tumble leather here. Now going towards the mid portion, you do actually have that hit of that gray suede. And one thing that I did forget to mention on the lateral side, so you do have these creamy off-white eye stays for the laces, the lace loops here. And then again, you are met with more of that gray elephant print. Then you have that suede up underneath going towards the back heel. And then you do have like, the double mud guard situation going towards the front portion of the sneaker. You do have the midsole here in all white, and then you do have that hit of ivory there. And then of course you have the other side of like, your air bubble there on this side. Going towards the back portion of the sneaker. So this is kind of like, where things get interesting. It's actually like, in plastic, and they do have the Jumpman logo there with the Air branding, but then up underneath, they do have the Nike branding up there in gray. So I felt like that was pretty interesting. I haven't really seen that on too many Air Jordan sneakers where they actually have like, one logo overlapping the other. That's kind of like, what makes the sneaker for me. Other than that, you do have more of that perforated leather up top, and then you have more of that elephant print going towards the bottom, and then you do have that hit of ivory and white going towards like, the midsole on the back. Now going towards the bottom portion of the sneaker, pretty standard, which you would expect from most Air Jordan 3s. And they actually did give us like, the Jordan branding here in the middle in gray, and they did have this hit of white. You also do have this circular traction pod up here going towards the toe box area here in gray. And then other than that, you do have like this hit of like this ivory. It's like ivory peach. I don't know what they want to call that color, but like to me, it looks like kind of like a ivory and peach mix. But it is kind of like, translucent, so you can't see through it, nothing like showing up underneath or anything like that. But it is pretty consistent with most Air Jordan 3s. But other than that, that is pretty much it on this sneaker. The left sneaker is pretty consistent with the right. Everything is pretty much the same. But if I were to rate these sneakers, man, I would definitely give this one a 10 out of 10. Solid sneaker, excellent materials. Air Jordan 3s are one of my favorite Air Jordan silhouettes of all time. So yeah, like when this one, I just love that they actually did give us, it's 2 things. It's a tongue with a double Jumpman, and then like, going towards the back of the sneaker, I showed that they had the Jordan Jumpman logo overlapping the Nike branding in the back. But yeah, man, 10 out of 10 on these. I did actually go ahead and try these on foot. They do tend to fit just like any other Air Jordan 3. So for me, that's actually true to size. Jordan 3s to me tend to have a little bit more room than most sneakers. So they do kind of like, fit a little bit more roomy. But I don't really foresee a reason for you to actually go down a half size or anything. Just stick true to size. I mean, it's just, you want to be comfortable. Jordan 3s on the foot. They do kind of feel like, more heavier than like most Air Jordan sneakers. I mean, it just is what it is. But if it's just like any other Air Jordan 3, and I would recommend staying true to size. But I definitely want to take the time to shout out the vendor who actually gifted me these pair of sneakers to actually review on the channel for you guys. But I also want to, just let you guys know to stay engaged with me like always, because I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys a B-roll and a 360 like I always do. But nevertheless, there you go. Air Jordan 3 Retro Craft Ivory. So there's the front of the sneaker. There you go, with the double jump man right there on the tongue. There's the lateral side of the right sneaker. There's the lateral side of the left. There's the bottom portion of the sneaker. There's the medial side. And then there's the rear. And one more thing I want to point out to you guys, I'm not going to pull it out, but I'm going to show you like, the insole on the sneaker. Now it actually is in, that light gray, which is consistent throughout the, sneaker. And they do have the white Jumpman logo there on the insole there. But yeah, man, I thank you guys for taking the time to tune in. Like always, I don't take anything for granted. But until next time, see you later.